Ruben Amorim dropping truth bombs in a presser post-Wolves, losing 1-0. Manager's not pulling punches, saying it's going to be the same old shit football until the summer. We're going to play explosive quote from the manager, then react on the other side. Let's hear from Ruben Amorim.
I step and understanding the until the end of the league is going to be like this, and then.
Look, Ruben, just on Rasmus, is it a confidence issue with him at the moment? And I know your options are limited with Josh being injured, but is there becoming an argument to maybe take him out of the spotlight? Because it feels like there's no hiding place for him at the moment.
No, I think we need to. I think if you look at the games, we have several players that miss big chances. Not just Rasmus, but Rasmus, of course, the game for Rasmus is to score goals because he's a striker. But
look, the comment before was talking about, hey, this is gonna be the same until the summer, till we can get rid of some of these guys or get in players that can do the job. These guys can't. AKA that translation, decently controversial. And then saying, hey, we got players that miss big chances, probably alluding to Garnacho. So you're saying these players can't get it done. You're calling out players for not scoring big goals, and then we got to go kick on to win Europa League. Look, of all the things he said, this is the worst team in Manchester United's history. That was another big truth bomb. I felt like that was probably over the line, generated a lot of headlines and heat. Where do you kind of rank this? What do you think of the manager kind of calling it like it is?
I mean, United needs this. I think this is so refreshing, even if we don't always want it, even if it's not always what we want to hear after Erik ten Hag and all the gaslighting and the excuse making. It's like, I like a manager who's like, hey, he's got to score goals, but Mount missed a big chance. Bruno missed a big chance, and I think actually Garnacho set up some big goals, but he also nails it. Rasmus is the only striker on this team, even with Zerk. He's the only striker of this team. He's the only number 9, so he has to score goals at the end of the day. So I think he's lighting a fire under all his players' asses because you know what? The season is a foregone conclusion. We're not getting relegated. It's the worst ever, right? It's all about how bad it's going to be. Is it going to be the 30 points or the 40 points or the 50 points? And they can finish any of those. 30 points. Can you imagine 39 points? But I think he's trying to be like, yo, man, who's going to step up and score goals for me in this team? Who's going to step up and wants to score in a Europa League semifinal? Because is it going to be Rasmus or is it one of those other guys that missed a chance today? So I think he's just trying to get a response of his players because he doesn't like what he's seeing. He's frustrated. I'd be frustrated. He's used to players running through walls, and they're seeing more effort. We're seeing better pressing, but it's not where it needs to be in terms of if you looked at his sporting teams.
Yeah, another quote, he goes on to say, quote, there's a lot missing from our team, a lot to do to improve. It will be like this until the end of the season, sir. So
keep saying the end of the season. He's like, just give me the end of the season, and then everything will be fine.
Look, it's a little honest for me. At this point, I feel like you just kind of have to just deflect to the Europa League. Be like, hey, we need Højlund's hungry. He's had a rough go. He's got to stay strong. We believe in him. He'll score, right? Something encouraging. I feel like, Fergie was tough on certain players, soft on other players. I feel like Amorim, you're only getting it one way, which is Hardo all day. Hardo.com is going to be Ruben Amorim, and I feel like, Højlund might need that arm around him, and you don't know what he's getting from the manager, but I just feel like when he came in, he was like, I'm going to defend my players. He kind of gave that speech, I'm going to defend them no matter what. I'll defend them against the world, and I just feel like he's maybe exposing them a little bit, and that could be because his own survival, but it's probably a little too honest. How can you gear up your team to win Europa League when you're saying, we're missing a lot here, and we got a bunch of bums that can't score goals? I just feel like we need to win Europa League. So maybe after that you could be a little harsher, but now I feel like it's on to Cincinnati. Hey, everyone's trying hard. It will come. A little belief for the team. Come from him, it would mean a lot.
I think he's not happy what he's seeing from the players. And I think I actually
he's pissed in the presser.
No, I know he's pissed. He's like I said, he's pissed in this game because he's watched a lot of football games. He was a player. He's a coach. That's a game we should not be losing. There's no way you lose in this fucking game after all. We didn't create that many chances, but we certainly out created them, and we gave them one big sniff of the ball. So he's mad. I think he's trying to defend Højlund, but he also was like, hey, he's got to score goals. He's number 9. At the same time, other players who doesn't name.
He's a bum, but he's our bum. Is that kind of the...
Yeah. Well, sorry, you said that bum.
I'm just saying, but I'm translating. I'm just trying...
But the thing is, you hear that. I don't hear that. You hear you're a bum.
People don't talk. It's
I know, but like
it's the fine margins. Like nobody singles out players. You know,
they
like,
asked about Rasmus Højlund. He's answered a question about Rasmus Højlund.
No, but he said crazy shit. Like this is the worst Manchester United team in history to the players. You know, that's debatable.
By the way, that was early. They're the
like,
worst team in the
second
modern
division,
era.
You know,
In the modern era.
But you didn't say modern era. But like, that's a lot of history. There, you know, we go way back. Newton Heath, you know, fighting it up. Like, I just feel he could be harsh. And what do you think? You think Amorim's like, you're coming off Hardo, Ten Hag, bald man.
They're all hard. Who is
like, now he's coming in probably harder than him, and it's like I just feel like these players probably need a little bit of lift. But look, do you appreciate the honesty for Amorim? Does he go too far? Is he kind of trying to make excuses? Is he protecting himself from INEOS? Like, he could be saying this stuff because his job's on the line. Regardless, I think we wouldn't need to win Europa League. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next Manchester United video.